welcome each and every one of you to our what we call, and we have every Friday at 2 o'clock at St. Joseph's School called Tal Junction. But Tal Junction is going to be a little bit different today. And so as we gather together, as you know, we start every morning with what? What do we start every morning with? Well, we start with the bell ringing. What's the second letter? Morning prayer. Very good. So we always start with the prayer. And before I say anything else, we're very grateful to have Paul Pino, who's one of both traditional and administrative leaders from Laguna Pueblo, who will lead us in prayer.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is, in a lot of ways, a very special day because what's been created throughout this whole week, and in creating of this mandala, something very similar to what we have in our own cultures. And when an image like this is put out, it brings us closer to our Creator, to our Mother and our Father, because our Creator gave us these images to help us on our way and give us guidance in our life, but also to help us. So the blessings that you receive from this mandala, from the creation that here, from things that are from the earth, and short time giving back to the earth, because we know that even though life is permanent, life is also, comes to an end at times, but life goes on. The spirit that's within this mandala continues to live and will live forever in all of us that have seen it, that are here to appreciate it, here to take in its blessings. The total meaning may not be known to all of us, but there is meaning in this mandala, and the blessings that it gives are yours to keep forever, things that will never be taken away. And no matter where you go, no matter where you travel, the blessings that come with this go with you and to your children and your children's children. So it's eternal. So with that, basically what I pray for was, in the beginning of time, our Creator created everything for us so that those of us that can live here on this earth. As I said earlier, nothing is perfect. blessings that you take from this mandala created out of the earth, created out of our mother, is something that you will take with you. And we pray that the blessings that you receive from this are carried with you day in and day out, from you to your families, to your children, to the communities that you live in, that the blessings go out from this mandala to you. And we ask this in our Creator's name.
Okay, we can be seated. Thank you so much, Paul, for your blessing and for your prayers. Where do I begin? It's been a remarkable year. And one of the things is that this past Monday we had Losan who came. And what was the first thing that you noticed about Losan? He was smiling. And what does a smile mean? Yes, Carlos? He has the light. When people smile, there is a light within us. And so like when you smile, it'll create and have somebody else smile. And when that person smiles, it lights another light and another person to smile. It's like lighting candles. You know, we just celebrated Easter where at the beginning there's the Paschal candle, the light of Christ, then lighting the lights of everybody holding. It's the same thing. And so when Losan came, he brought a light. He brought a light from his tradition, from his story of life, and from who he is as Losan. And it integrated into our lives because all of you come from and have a story from whether you come from Acoma or from Laguna or from San Fidel, and even some people from San Rafael. So it's good. And it's a light that grows. And that's why you're here. Because one of the things is that it's about the light that is in the darkness that we sometimes face in, you know, the three things. What are the three things that we learned today that create suffering? Yes, Damien. Okay, what does it represent? Anger. What's the other one? The pig. And what does he represent? Yes, Janine. Ignorance. And what's the third one? Yes, Mary.
Rooster.
The rooster represents
Greediness.
But with all that brings darkness, brings, you know, a heaviness. And yet the light heals all of that. And so Losan coming from Tibet, where his journey began, and then to Nepal and to India, and now he's in Philadelphia, and it ends right here in San Fidel at St. Joseph's School. And so we're very grateful and honored that you are here to bring another dimension, because one of the things is being a Buddhist monk. If, you know, we had talked about this throughout the week, that in the monastic traditions, whether it's in the Catholic or the Muslim or the Buddhist or the Hindu or the Jewish, the monks speak the same language. They're all on the same page. Sometimes it's within the religion of its priest and its narrowness that we separate each other and find differences. But in the monastic traditions of all religions, we find that here because we have the tradition of the public culture of someone praying, and the words that you say are no different than what he says all the time, or what I say here in representing the Christian tradition. It's all one and the same, and so and when that happens, there's going to be a glow that just keeps growing and growing. But I want to thank some individuals that have brought that all together, and it all started with this gentleman over here, Kent. He just happened to meet my wife, Lucinda, over coffee. And it's like, oh my gosh. And Lucinda says, you got to meet this guy. And I said, oh, I already meet too many guys. You know, it's like, but you got to meet him. He has a spirit that you're going to love. And so ever since that moment that we met down over in El Moro, things have been happening for the school. Because Kent's spirit, as well as Losan's spirit, my spirit, and the spirit of everyone gathered here, it's all about God that unites us. And what's the thing about God? What does God give us? Love. Oh my God. Who's his teacher? Miss Thomas. Give him a name for the rest of the year. No. It's about love. But it's hard to love one another. because we're broken people, and all because of the three things that were just mentioned of anger, greed, and ignorance. And so, Losan, we are very grateful for your presence because your tradition meshes with our tradition and with the tradition of the world, especially as you incorporated the story in this mandala. And so as we go forward, we just want to continue to remember that the spirits are now the spirit of this place and your spirit and our spirit. What's the spirit mean? Tell me all together. Breath of God. Spirit is breath of God. And so when we speak about spirit, it's the breath of God among us, in us, through us. And where else is the breath of God? It's in where? Where do we see the breath of God? Us. And where else? And it's Jesus, yes. In your tribal leaders, and where else?
In our traditional ways.
Your traditional ways, where else? How about the trees? How about Gubio? You know, the Spirit permeates everywhere. In the mountains, and in the land, and in the air. It's everywhere. And in your traditional ways, you celebrate that. You pray about that. And it all connects us. And then the final place of where the Spirit is, and what connects us, and where all traditions come together, is where is the Spirit. It starts with an A. Starts with an A. We always pray about it every morning prayer. At the end, we pray for St. Joseph's and Lady of Guadalupe, and we also pray for our ancestors. We're connected with our ancestors and with our saints. So, it's all interconnected. And so we are grateful to come to this moment, and it's fitting that it's at this time because school is ending. As our journey is ending, but it begins new life, as Mr. Pino said. And so I would like to introduce to you Kent, who has made this all possible. And he has a few words to say, but thank you. And he's connected us with so many people. And thank you, and the floor is yours.
Thanks, Antonio. Put a smile on my face. And this is a very special day, but that doesn't mean we can't have some fun, along with something very serious. So if this plan works, there's going to be a few laughs, there might be a few tears, and we'll all enjoy ourselves. But in a way, we're making history. And I don't mean to be too grandiose, but think about it. Think about this. Think about what Paul said. Think about that. Nepal, Tibet, Acoma, Laguna, Franciscan, Samten, in Cibola County, New Mexico. It's never been done before. So I'm not being too grandiose when I say, in our own way today, we're making history. Okay, but so a couple things are happening here. Here comes the world to St. Joe. But here goes St. Joe to the world. So St. Joe is a very, very polite place. Now let me see. I know that woman came here all the way from California just to be here today. Now, I'll bet if she's from California, she probably speaks English. That's the only language I know. Now, if you're a St. J student, and you meet somebody whose only language is English and you want to say hello, does anybody remember how to do it? Hi, Jimmy, you know? Hello, yes. So, if you're from California or someplace like that, but you know what? This lady is from El Paso, Texas, and so is she. And they've come all this way. Now, I don't know them really, but I hear in El Paso, a lot of people speak Spanish. So maybe St. Joe kids better be ready to be polite and say hello in Spanish in case there's somebody here who only speaks that. Oh, kids, is there anybody here who can say hello? Can you do it? How would you do it? Hola. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, beautiful. But, oh my Lord, there's somebody here way in the back who came all the way from New Zealand. New Zealand, 10,000 miles to be in this room. But their culture's called Maori. We try to be friendly here. How do we say hello to somebody from New Zealand? I need some help here. Do you think you know how? But you have to, no, careful, New Zealand. No. This guy I know knows, I'm going to look for the smallest person I can find, just because it seems like fun. I'm going to ask you to stand up. I know it's a little. Look over there. I know he's behind Losan. Just tell him hello, but tell him the way a New Zealander would. You know how to say it? No, no. You got a good language, but the wrong language for New Zealand. Let me see. How about that guy in the shirt?
Kia ora.
Kia ora. Good. Okay. But you know, this wonderful elder here, he's from this neighborhood right here. And he spoke in a language that I haven't heard before I got here. But we're trying to be polite. How do you say hello in the local native language? Chelsea with an S, do you think you can stand up and do it? How? How do you do it? Stand up and say hello to him in a language that... Louder? Kwatsi. Oh, this is really good. Okay, that's 4 languages. But Losan, he was born in Tibet. Oh, Lord. Oh, we got a problem. We got a problem. Who here can say hello? We had English, we've had Spanish, we're being polite, we've had the native language, we've had from New Zealand. Now we got a character from Tibet. Can you stand up and say hello to Losan in Tibetan? Now, as far as I know, there's nobody here from France. But if there was, how would you say hello? Bonjour. As far as I know, there's nobody here from Hawaii. But if there was, how would you say hello? Aloha. Okay. So I hope if you're over the age of 14, you feel welcome. And you can also see a bunch of kids are grown. Heading outward. But secure. Right in this room, having fun. It's really, really wonderful. Boy, it's been quite a time here at St. Joe, I must tell you. It was only about 6 weeks ago. Do you remember that every one of you was in a science fair? Every one of you. In fact, the first student at the school that impressed me was him. Because he's walking around with batteries in his pocket doing science fairs. But then there were her students. How old are some of them? 7. And they were baking with the sun. Who was it that did the thing with the cardboard in the greenhouse? Does anybody know who did that one? Somebody did an experiment. Was that you? That was you that did the cardboard. Wow, it was only 6 weeks ago. And then the next thing you know, we started this. Towel Junction. What's the name of that thing we pass around sometimes? Anybody remember? You remember? The toku, which a Maori boy carved, and in their language it means talking stick. But we didn't always pass around every week. Every week you got to stand up. I don't care. 4 years old, stand up. Everybody. Not now, but you follow me, I think. And every child speaks. But one time we slipped. It wasn't the talking stick. It was something she bought. What was it? It was a panda. She bought a panda. Where's the panda now? You know where? In the cafeteria, in a very special place. Yes, really, really wonderful. Holy smokes, then what happened? Oh yeah, then that man that looks like Santa Claus. Larry, where'd he come from? New Zealand. What did he carve?
A waka.
Very good. You even said it in there like, but what is a waka? In English, a boat. Where's the boat? Right now. In the cafeteria. What's going on here? Wakas from New Zealand, panda bears from who knows where. It's really kind of special. By the end of this day, we'll put one more thing on that table, and it will be a bowl. And there's some people in the room, more than one, I believe, that have bought some pretty special bowls. But some of that's going to be in before this day is out. But then, boy, then there was all the dancing. Oh, that was only a week ago. What was the name of some of those dances? Owen? The deer dance. Anybody know the name? Please? The butterfly dance. And then we get to this week. We just got done last week, and all these kids are dancing. And here comes Losan. Now, I think Losan's coming to the school to do a San Mandela. But Losan's actually spent many years, and then add a few more, learning all kinds of things, including dance. So let's make history now at St. Joseph's Mission School. Let's be the first school right now in America to try something. Let's see if we could have boys and girls from a teeny little school in San Fidel, New Mexico, right now, stand up and dance. A Tibetan dance. Let's make a little history here, have a little fun. I wonder if I can find any boys and girls who right in front of Losan. That's where they're headed.
Hey!
All right.
So, this is, no, this is good, that's good. So, this is a special dance related to the mandala. So, I asked them to do yesterday to dress as one is the green, one is the red, one yellow, one white. It's a symbol of the four directions. And this is a simple dance. They're going to show us the dance of blessing the four directions. There you go. Thank you. Wow.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Wow.
And I just got to ask you, I don't really expect you to answer, but if you are older than 14, when you were in 6th grade or 5th grade, would you have gotten up in front of a whole bunch of strangers from all over the world to try to dance a dance that's about 2 days old in your head, taught by a Tibetan master with no music? It's pretty deep, isn't it? I mean, it is. It is. And we're mixing all, I think everybody understands, Antonio's made it really clear. I think we all believe it's the same light, and we're coming from different traditions, and trying to honor them all because they're all beautiful. And somebody right now, I'm going to look for Sister Mary, because we're bringing in all of the, there she is back there. Sister, good. I'm hyping everything up and everybody's laughing. Can you maybe bring us down a little bit with something and just give us a different focus for a little bit, please?
We have a few moments of quiet as we think about something very special. something very special that happened in the past and that we actually celebrate every day. And so this morning when I was praying, I started thinking of making a story up. And the story is about how our Blessed Mother had a potluck dinner and how in the following day, it was already 3 days since Jesus died and was buried. But the mother of Jesus was busy in the kitchen, washing dishes left over from the night before. The potluck she had with her friends was kind of sad because Jesus wasn't there. It was a beautiful, chilly morning in the springtime, and she made a wood fire from the chips of wood left over from Joseph and Jesus when they were working in the workshop. So that wood was burning and it was smelling really pretty. And she was hearing all these crackling sounds. And she thought that was so nice and pleasant with that aroma and hearing the crackling of the wood and washing the dishes in the sunshine in the kitchen, by the kitchen sink. She noticed that the soap bubbles were sparkling like rainbows. And all at once she thought she could smell roses and lilies. And then she took a deep breath and relaxed just for a moment. And while she was relaxing, she was praying. And as she was praying, in her heart, she was saying praise to God.